Hi guys. What we're talking about today is an artist called Willem de Kooning. Now, he was a contemporary of the artist we spoke about in the previous video, which is Jackson Pollock. He too was a part of the abstract expressionist movement, but he brought something new to the table. The artwork that you can see is called Woman Number Two. Now, what he did was he created extremely controversial figures of women. Why so? Is because not only did he do experimental art, but he mixed realistic attributes to it. For example, a woman. Even though the female does not look extremely realistic, and his demonstration of the female figure was extremely controversial at the time and is still discussed today, it was a way of making the two worlds of realism and abstract art meet, and experimental art as well in terms of the technique he used. So Willem de Kooning was actually born in Netherlands and he immigrated to America. When he reached America, it was towards the end of the jazz time and movement and the jazz age, and the Great Depression had come into the entire United States. So while in New Jersey, he started working as a house painter, painting with large brushes and extremely diluted paint in terms of his artistic career in the beginning. Why was that something that added to his artistic style? Was because this usage of large brushes and fluid paints can be seen till his final artworks as well. Though he was an immigrant to the United States of America, before he migrated, he did achieve training in fine arts and commercial art. So, along with this experimental tool and usage of fluid paints and large brushes throughout his artwork and through this painting, Woman Number Two, you can really see the use of large strokes, large brushes, fluid paint, along with a training in fine and commercial art, and that training is what can bring this dual sort of mix between the two worlds of realism and experimental art. His artistic career, in fact, lasted over 7 decades. So, even though he experimented in different art forms, throughout the course, like I said, there was a lasting impression of his training as well as his initial career in house paintings. He was someone who brought about change not only in experimental art but in European modernism when it came to art and the world of art in Europe, because he brought abstraction and figuration together. That's the best way to put his style. Though it is experimental in terms of breaking barriers, breaking tradition when it came to figuration, as well as just showing his process of creation, the roughness in his drawing, the smoothness in his strokes, the fluidity, through the abstraction, he merged the two. And one very, very effective quote by William de Kooning himself was that I was never interested in how to make a good painting. It didn't work on the idea of perfection. What he worked on was on how far it could go. And you can really see through this painting, Woman Number Two, that he really let it go far. It's this idea of continuing to work till the time you just need to stop. One idea that he added to his wide array of styles, that he just did not stop. He kept adding to the artwork in terms of figures and in terms of the abstraction, that the painting towards the end became both controversial but also something that had so much value, because it was not only abstract but also an experience of his work. So through his this painting you can see the entire experience in every stroke. And that is what experimental art is, but also figuration. So I hope again this video added some insight to how you can use experimental art as well as figuration, or merge two different worlds and two different movements or even two different concepts together to really bring about an emotion or a controversial idea, or even just depict an experience to making a full-time artwork. I will see you next time and we will discuss a new artist and a new artwork.